Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we're going to be looking at the Iron Patriot, aka War Machine, from the new movie. This is from the Build-A-Figure comic Iron Monger line of figures. Really good figure, at least as good as the Mark 42, maybe even a little bit better. I really love this figure. It's absolutely fantastic, and I'm going to say right now, you should definitely get it. You will be happy if you do. So just give you a quick close-up on the Iron Patriot. The paints are phenomenal. There's molded plastic. You know, I'm not sure which is molded, the red or the blue. I think it depends on where we're looking, but even the painted parts compared to the molded parts, they all are just about the right color since the plastic is marbled, so it's really hard to pick anything out as being out of place. So it looks fantastic. The silver and the red and the blue is all really good. Only gripe I guess I could come up with for the paint is maybe the red's not red enough. It's got a bit of a pinkish or mauve-ish hue to it, but even if you consider that, it's still a fantastic figure. There's some nice details to the paint application there. Of course, there's going to be some smudges and things throughout the figure. It's a mass-produced figure, so it's not going to be perfect, but it is darn good. It's a fantastic figure. Really great. He stands about 6.5 inches tall, maybe just over since his legs are perfectly straight. Quick comparison against some other figures in the batch. Almost exactly the same height as Ultron. Ultron stands just a bit taller, maybe. It probably just depends on how I pose the head. Compared to the Mark 42, they're almost identical in height. Again, it just depends on how they're posed and angled. So really cool. And then really quick, just a quick comparison against the Iron Monger, the comic Iron Monger. Comes up to the chest. So good size, everything's in scale, looks fantastic. Comes with one accessory, kind of, that's his gun, which isn't as nice as it looks like. This is all one solid piece, so there's no hinging or anything there. The only hinge is this one right here, and then there's a swivel right here. It's all solid plastic, no paint or anything like that. He has 2 peg holes, but putting it in this one doesn't really work because of the way it's angled. You can't rotate it or anything. So it's just going to be at an angle then. So that's kind of silly. Don't really get that. So you leave it on this side like it was in the movie, at least at the one point. And it's okay. It still seems maybe a little tall and just kind of cheap compared to the rest of the figure, but it'll definitely do for a display piece. Like I said, the paints are great. Everything's good. The repulsor or the arc reactor, whatever you want to call that, I guess on War Machine it would be an arc reactor also, in the chest. And then the eyes are kind of a yellowish color, so they're not as nice looking as if it would have been a faded white to blue type of thing. But to be honest, maybe that's accurate for the movie. I don't really remember. But it looks good either way, so I'm okay with it. As far as articulation goes in the head, it's the same as the Iron Man. It's a ball joint, so he's got a little play on the joint on the ball itself. You can slide the head forward and backward to help with the posability. It looks up, not quite as well as Iron Man because he's a little bulkier, but he does look up. And of course he looks down just fine, side to side. And actually he does have a little bit more play in the head from side to side this way, so that you can get him in some pretty nice looking poses, which looks particularly good on this figure. So the head is great. The shoulder pads are actually hinged on this guy, ball hinge shoulders. The only problem with these shoulder pads is when you bring the arm forward, they look ugly. So bringing the arm straight forward isn't the best option, but you can do it. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, wrist swivel, and a wrist pivot. The problem on this guy is the bulkiness of the armor prevents the hand from pivoting up on either side. So even with the fist or with the repulsor hand, you're not going to get the hand to come up at all, which is probably okay since they didn't paint the repulsor on his hand, same as the Iron Man. His torso joint works just like Iron Man's. It rocks from side to side, front to back. It goes forward a little bit better than Iron Man's, at least by a tiny bit. It goes back really far, still looks good, and then it still twists as well. Really great design on this guy. Can't complain at all as far as that goes. Same kind of hips as Iron Man, T-jointed hips. He's a little bit limited by the thickness of the plate armor on his thigh there, so it can't come up too far, but it goes to the side just fine. Rotation fine. Double jointed knee, similar to the Mark 6 and other ones that had the knee pad like that. So pretty good there. Much better looking than the Mark 42, but that's not the figure's fault. And he's got similar legs to those also, in that he only has a hinge in the foot. You can see the hinges in there. It's kind of stiff and kind of hard to use due to the surrounding armor. It does rotate, but it does not have an ankle rocker in there, unfortunately, but you can still get him in some pretty cool poses. And considering that this guy is sculpted so nicely, I mean, it looks like it came right out of the movie. It's sculpted wonderfully, and look at that nice shiny metallic paint slash plastic. Absolutely wonderful figure. If you don't have it yet, you need to have it if you're an Iron Man fan or an action figure fan or anything at all. It's just a really good figure. Can't talk how I'm finally surprised at how good a figure is from Hasbro. I just can't get over it. It's really, really well done. Absolutely great figure. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, more custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.